Добро утро на всички и добре дошли на вторият ден на TFFest 2022. Hello everyone and welcome to the second day of TFS 2022. Today, the working day already started. The students are making their deals in B2B channels in Discord and trading with direct customs in their online shops on the website of TFS. But now we are together with Жасмина Гевезиева-Berova, who is the general manager of CARDINAL BITES, to present us how to build a new brand in a digital environment. For all of you who are watching us live on Facebook, you can put your questions or comments under the live stream, and I will make sure to ask them to Jasmina in the end of her presentation. So in the next something like 30-45 minutes, Jasmina, the floor is yours to teach us how to build actually a brand in the digital environment.
Hello everyone, I'm really happy to be here and to share some experience. Just as a quick note, I have more than 10 years of experience in marketing, and before being a general manager of one of the most popular food tech brands right now in Bulgaria, and I'll share more about the brand and how we got here and the whole concept. Actually, just a quick note of who am I and why I'm talking to you about branding. As a whole, I've been my last corporate job was in B2B Media Group, where I sold digital advertising, and I was responsible for the campaigns of Coca-Cola, Postbank, Audi, and some really well-known world brands, and I was responsible for budgets of over 1 million level real money here in digital advertising. Before that, I'm actually a graduated student for my bachelor degree was in journalism and mass communication, and my master degree was in advertising and branding. And after that, I was a part of some of the well-known communication holdings and PR agencies. So as a whole, my job and calling was marketing and branding, and during the last 2 years I founded my own company with my co-founder Yonko Chuklev, and we founded CARDINAL BITES. CARDINAL BITES are the first protein bites with no added sugar in Bulgaria. They're created for people who care about quality food and appetizing, exciting taste while maintaining an optimal shape and weight. CARDINAL BITES is a company which started in May 2020 during the pandemic, and that was the first communication and first pillar that we were in innovation during crisis. And just think about that, because it will be a part of how to structure your communication at some point, that virality and that wow effect. So it was a company which started as a pioneer in the niche of protein balls, and the mission is to solve the problem with the sweet temptations while maintaining an optimal shape. So I'll share my screen and I'll start with the presentation, how to build a new brand in a digital environment. Just a quick note, in the first 6 months of our existence, we got over 1 million impressions. We reached over 200 users, which are our target group. And this is without calculating the affiliate marketing, so this is influencers and the media exposure, because nobody is giving you that statistics. So just a second to share the screen. And this is it. I hope you see it.
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. So first, when you start a brand, and when you start an innovative brand, innovation starts with the problem worth solving. So it's not about just selling some idea to VCs or angel investors. It starts with the problem, which is really a deep one and has unmet needs, and the target group has unmet needs in the country you're going to solve the problem. So it started with the customer and knowing the customer, and with the problem, which is a big one, but in a niche market. So this is one of my favorite pyramids. It looks like the muscle pyramid, but it's a so-called product market fit pyramid. And this is the pyramid that I propose you to start with when you're building your own brand. First of all, the most important foundation of your brand is the target customer and his problems. So you got to know what are the pain points, what are their aspirations, what are their needs, why they're unmet needs in the market. So it all starts with the target customer. In our example in our company, for example, our target customers are mostly women, 80% women between 25 and 45 years old, who just want to eat sweets and stay in shape at the same time. And for the most of their lives, they had problems with kilograms, and they had deleted as a whole eating sweets in order to stay in shape. So that's the main problem, the problem with sweets, and that elimination diet. So this is our target customer. Every company has very niche target customers. For example, when I was helping FBET, for example, for their digital strategy, they have 12 different target customers. So it's not just one. It can be several target customers. In our example, in our company, for example, there are 4. But you have to have a really deep understanding of their profile, and not just a demographic profile or their financial profile, but their pains and needs. That's the whole point. Your company is solving a problem. So the market is a target customer and underserved needs. So for here, you have to know your competition very well. For example, when I started Cardinal Bites, I ate my competition. I literally ate every protein bar or raw bowl that was on the market in Bulgaria. After that, I flew to and lived in Germany, which is the most developed market in Europe for that branch. And literally, I ate my competition. So you have to know your competition very well. There are several strategies how to know their digital assets, and I'll share you some tools how to know your competition. For example, there are paid ones, but they're good ones. For example, SEMrush and Ahref are softwares that from which you can use to know your competition, like their digital assets, their traffic, where they spend their money digitally. So it's a whole landscape. Where are they getting their traffic from? Where they're getting their traffic, and what are their main traffic magnets on their website, and which products are the most sold digitally. So SEMrush, Ahref, and keyword analysis, which helps you to know the intent of their target customers and what are their main magnets on the website. So this is the market, and the product is the value proposition. This is something that I'm going to talk to you about very soon. The value proposition, your USP, unique selling proposition, why you're so unique, why the target customer should know about you and buy from you. So this is their their precious money they're going to spend somewhere, and why they're going to spend them on you. Your feature set, this which is your competitive advantages. So this is something that you and your competition already have. It's not unique for you, but it's a competitive the competitive positives. For example, in Cardinal Bites, the value proposition is that we have really authentic taste. They're the first protein balls. We have really quality ingredients. So we are first in something, and we're really good. And the feature set is that they're without added sugar, they're gluten-free, lactose-free. So these are advantages that you can see in other products, not just in our product. But our product is with unique taste, for example, and they're the first in the market. We open the market for protein balls. And the UX is user experience. This is something that is used in technology companies, but in brick and mortar companies, for example, physical companies like production companies, the UX is the distribution. How easy is for the target customer to reach you? How well is your distribution? How easy they can order from your website if you have an online shop, and already as part of this fest, you have an online shop and you know how to deal with it. So this is the UX in your part. So we also have to build a strong brand. You have to have a brand matrix. So you have to build a strong brand which will help you to be the first in the mind of your customers. So the brand matrix has internal elements and is external elements. The internal elements are the mission and the vision of your company. And just keep in mind that less than 2 years ago, when we started, we got our first pre-seed investment in the first month of our existence. So it was actually before our existence official register of the company. And the reason to have an investment is that we had a mission and vision how to get there and what we wanted to create. We didn't know how the protein ball will look like. We just knew that we'll be in that market, and our mission is to be quality protein innovators, and that we wanted to transform temptations into protein innovations. And the rest was our founding team. So when you start a company, at the beginning, if you receive an investment, this will be only on your mission, vision, and the strength of your team. So it's really important to have a really good authority during the years and to build your personal profile, personal authority. So mission and vision, this is internal elements, the culture of the company, and your expertise, which is, for example, in my case, my 10 plus years of experience in marketing, and etc. And the milestones and achievements that I've got before that. External elements are the added value. So when you start a company and you're in the premium segment, for example, you should have added value, because the pricing strategy, just to be with low prices, it is easy to outstand that. I mean, you should have something that is unique for you. You should have an added value for your customers in order to be their lovely brand. So in our case, our added value is the customer service, for example, the uniqueness of the product, that added value that is not that easy to find it somewhere. For example, in our case also, our first recipe is protected, so it's really unique. So this is something that is part of our brand. External elements is positioning. For example, in Cardinal Bites, the positioning is that we're the first in the market of protein balls, and we transform temptations to protein innovations. And the bridge between them, between the internal elements and external elements, are the personality of your brand. And I'm going to talk about soon. the communication strategy, the brand essence, which is really important. This is the values of the brand promises, and this is actually the most important thing, the brand identity and why you are existing, your raison d'etre. And actually, when you're part of a startup, the reason to keep going, especially in hard times like now, like during the pandemic or during war, during inflation, which is actually our environment right now, your reason to keep going is your raison d'etre. Why your brand, why your company is so important, and what important what important problem it's solving in order to exist and keep pushing forward. So your brand strategy, this is the brand matrix part of the brand strategy. This is your plan for systematic development in accordance with the business strategy. And the main question is, who are you serving? And this is the foundation. Who is your target customer? And at the beginning, when you start a company, something that I really prefer is the lean method of a startup, which is to start with something, with minimum viable product, the so-called MVP, to start and to have a feedback as soon as possible in order to upgrade the features, in order to know the positioning, in order to pivot if it's in need. To pivot is to change the whole structure of the positioning of the product. That's to pivot. So this should be as soon as possible as you start, and your first month or first year is dedicated to that, to build the perfect product market fit. So and just another thing, the business strategy, the business plan is something that it will be in need as soon as possible. Of course, if you want to raise money, for example, from VCs, they will want that. And a business strategy is a business plan which is between 3 and 5 years. It's your Bible of your company and where you're going. A brand strategy helps you to find out who you are and use your beliefs and values to steer decisions in directions that are better for your people, businesses, and future. And also, a brand strategy will help you to communicate your brand. This is very important, consistently and effectively through every content you make. It's really important in the beginning to have just one person who is responsible for the communication of your brand, because if you're, for example, 3 founders and everyone is publishing content on social media, for example, one in Instagram, one in Facebook, for example, it will sound like 3 different persons. And it's really important that your brand has its own personality, and this is it. It's another person, and it will sound like it. And there is, for example, so-called tone of voice, and I'm going to talk about you very soon. A tone of voice, a personality of the brand, and it has its own voice, its own appearance, and it should sound really consistently, because especially in the beginning, it will be very confusing for the customer. What are the values of the company? Why you're talking in, for example, in Bulgarian, why at some point you're talking in T, in formal, and why you're talking in VA, formal, at the other post. So it should be consistent. A brand strategy helps you to attract the right customers, to build a strong and sustainable brand. So again, it's really important to know who is your right customer and why you're serving them. When you don't have a brand strategy, you do not understand your mission, you don't have a documented marketing plan, I hope that whatever you do will work. Your employees are confused, when you have employees at some point, of course, are confused and do not engage with the company. Your content is inconsistent in the good case and contradictory in the bad case. This is really bad. And you can't articulate your brand clearly. So the brand essence, actually, it's consisted by the brand personality. This is my favorite one, and tone of voice. This is the tone of voice, and some examples of well-known brands and how they sound. For example, Chanel. You think of Chanel, it's really elite, it's really sophisticated. So Chanel is elite, and in the same apparel category, you have the mass market, which is H&M. You have the serious one, which is SAP and Google, which are really more playful. You have other companies, which is rebellion. For example, Tesla, they're just extraordinary. They're out of the, they're unique. So they're against, they have their own category. So they're rebellion. For example, a good one here is Harley Davidson. You have the friendly cosmopolitan, which is for teenagers, and you can't compare it with the authority of New York Times or Harvard Business Review, for example. This is the authority and how it sounds like. And you have, for example, Revolut, which is young, innovative, and it's a unicorn right now. It's one of the most innovative companies right now. So every company has its own tone of voice. And when you build the brand of yours, you should know how you want to sound like, and it sounds like a person. We have another dimension. This is from a Stanford researcher, Jennifer Acker, the brand personality dimensions. So we have a sincere one, which is down to earth, it's honest, it's wholesome, it's cheerful. We have the excitement, which, for example, our brand, Cardinal Bites. We have the daring personality, it's spirited, it's imaginative, it's up to date. Keep in mind that when you start a company, when you have a startup, it's really closer as a sound to the founder of the company. So most of the cases, and it's easier that way, you put a lot from your personality in your brand. It's your baby. So how you sound like as a person, how your values, it's really up to the personality of the founder. To continue, we have competent brands, which are, for example, most of the banks. They're reliable, they're intelligent, they're successful. All the financial institutions are here. We have sophisticated brands, like, for example, Chanel that we mentioned earlier. They're upper class, they're charming, and we have, of course, brands that are rebellion, like Harley Davidson, and they're the tough one. This is one of my favorite slides. For example, this for the brand archetypes. Brand archetypes are successors of the Jung's, the psychologist Carl Jung, and he has 16 different personality types. And from here, we have 12 different brand archetypes. So here, there are examples of each archetype and popular brands that sound like it. So your brand is a person, and it sounds like a person, like a tone of voice that we mentioned earlier. And we have its personality as a brand archetype. So, for example, the innocent one, they're Dove, they're Coca-Cola, they're really positive and heartwarming, and they want to be good in everything. We have the Sage, which is, for example, Google, BBC. They know it all. They have all the information. That's the essence of their brand. We have the Explorer, like Red Bull, like Corona or Ray or Patagonia, for example. We have the Outlaw, and we mentioned it several times. The Harley Davidson. Virgin actually is a really good one here. We have the magicians like Apple, Absolute X, and actually the magicians are archetype who want to change the world for the better and to be seen as supernatural and just in other category. We have the hero. This is my favorite archetype, my personal favorite archetype. We have Nike here, and these are brands that want to create a legacy. and to just to be the bad guy. We have the villain here, and just to they're brave, they're like Supermans, and they want to build the best in you. For example, in Nike, their whole communication is not about the shoes, it's about your inner greatness. And I really believe in the personal potential, that we're here to be our best selves and to develop our own potential. So this is the hero category here. We have the lover, which are brands that are really idealistic. And for example, a Chanel, or you probably know the advertisement of Baileys. They're just the romantic one. We have the gesture. Gesture, this is the pure hedonism here and now, and that everything is about taste and sensual experiences. And we have most of the chocolate brands here. Lindt, for example, is here. We have the Everyman as a brand archetype. When you hear about Everyman, just imagine Homer Simpson. And what are the brands for Homer Simpson? So these are the brands which are for everyone. Everyone can afford it. IKEA, for example, it's really affordable in the United States. Here it's more upper class in Bulgaria, but that's the essence of the brand. To be, everyone can use it. We have the creator. For example, here we have Lego. So the creator gives you the tools as a brand archetype to build something. So we have Adobe Illustrator here. By the way, for magician, one of my favorite examples, it's not here, but I'll tell you, one of my favorite examples is Disney. So you think of Disney, this is the brand archetype, magician. They're just creating a better world. So the almost the last archetype is the ruler. You think of brands who are just really masculine. They're the first in the row, and Mercedes-Benz is that brand, BMW is that brand, Audi is that brand. So you just have the beasts on the street, for example. And the last archetype is the caregiver. The caregiver, most of the NGOs, non-governmental organizations are here, like UNICEF, like WWF, for example, Johnson & Johnson's. So these are the brand archetypes. And when you think about your brand, your company, you should know, where are you? Where is the personality of your brand? For example, our brand is called Cardinal Bites, as you already know, and it's called Cardinal for two reasons. The first one is that cardinal is from Latin, and it means chief, pivotal, essential, and protein is the main macronutrient. It means first in order in Greek language, for example. But the cardinal bird, there is a bird which is called cardinal. It's well known in the States. It's not in Europe, and I didn't know about that bird 2 years ago, but it has a symbolism in it. The cardinal bird is a symbol of empowerment, freedom, and enthusiasm. And these are three values, three characteristics that are really deeply connected with our personal values as founders. So that's why we chose this name as a brand, and it's protected in the Patent Office in Bulgaria, of course. So this is our mission, vision, and goals, and how we implemented that, what I'm talking about, the brand essence, the mission and vision, the whole presentation, how it's implemented in our brand. Our mission is to transform temptations into game-changing protein innovations. Our goal, and this is from the very beginning of the company, it's not changed, is quality protein nutrition innovators. And our values is freedom, empowerment, and developing your potential. Our approach, how to build it in digital environment, is actually in several aspects. This is something that you can use, of course. our approach is, of course, you have to have a website. It's you just can't sell your product through Instagram or Facebook. It's not proper. It's not legal. So you have to have your own website, and you have to concentrate on the traffic to your website, because this is your kingdom. This is your space on the digital space. It's your personal space, and nobody can get away with that from you. Of course, if you pay your domain, you have to pay your domain and your hosting. And after that, you have your digital space. It's your own kingdom. So you have your website. For now, it depends on the brand. If you're B2B, for example, Instagram is not relevant. But if you're B2B, LinkedIn is your primary space. In our case, we sell protein both, so Instagram is the space for us for brand awareness. We have Facebook. Most of our sales are from Facebook. We have affiliate marketing, which is influencers and connection with influencers. We have LinkedIn, which is for buyers, because we have B2B strategy and B2C strategy. B2B is business to business, B2C is business to consumer. We have our blog, which should be very much developed, and this is one of the focuses for this year. We have media outreach, and this is something that I recommend to you, because if you start a startup and it's something unique, there is a lot of viral content and a lot of traffic which is coming from media, and they're interested in you. And this is something that is free of charge. And we have also email marketing. This is one of our best-selling tools in an organic way. And I really recommend it to you because, for example, for our company, it's really important to have this community sense. Our customers are called Cardinalчета, for example, from Cardinal Bites Cardinalчета. So we have a community of people who empower each other, who want to develop their potential, and we communicate with them exclusively in our email marketing. The software that we are using, for example, is MailChimp, and it's a free one to up to 2,000 contacts. So I recommend it to you to start with MailChimp at some point. So that was my presentation. Now it's your turn to change the world for the better, just to build the best brand as possible. So thank you for your attention. I hope it was interesting and useful for you.
Thanks, Jasmina, for your really interesting presentation and actually sharing with us your experience. As you mentioned, you have more than 10 years in what you're doing. So it's definitely very, very valuable for all of us to hear the tips from you. Yeah, we enjoyed a lot of visitors in our live in Facebook. The questions that we got so far. Let me start with the first one. People are curious, how did you choose the name actually the name of the brand, Cardinal Bites?
It was a very interesting story, actually. First of all, when you thought about names, we had a very different name at the beginning. I'm a big fan of symbolism, and we looked for different flowers, for example, at the beginning, and I couldn't find our flower. And so that was the beginning. Something that is really useful is to know that when you choose a brand name, you should look at the Bulgarian register and the European register and the US register. Is it protected already? Because most of the names are already taken. And also one of the fastest ways to choose a brand name and to know is it taken is to just to Google it. There is a website with that name. So about Cardinal Bites, it was really funny because we're thinking about our brand name, and I came from a shop just with all the groceries in my hands, and in the messaging with my co-founders, one of the co-founder just sent a link with different birds and their symbolism. And the cardinal bird, C, is the third letter in the English alphabet, ABC. So it was on the top, one of the tops, and I was just like seeing it. I dropped my groceries and I was, oh my God, this is it. This is that cardinal. I don't know if it was bites or balls or something, but I knew it was cardinal. And also cardinal is a rank in the Catholic religion also. So it's a really high ranking, and that's after the Pope. And there is a notion that this is something premium as a product. It's something quality. It's for the it's a really quality one, elite product. So because of that, the Latin name, the cardinalis, which is chief pivotal, the symbol of the bird, which is empowerment, freedom, enthusiasm, optimism. As you can see from my way of talking, my speech, that's who I am as a person. So it's really our values as founders in that company and that brand. Yeah, that was the story, and it wasn't taken. It was free, and we just protected it in the patent office.
Yeah, and while you were explaining us the story of the name, I actually Googled cardinal flower, and it comes out that there is a cardinal flower as well.
Oh, great. I didn't know that.
So somehow you're back in the original story with the
wow.
flower. And it's also red, which are one of your colors actually that you chose. So
nice. Yeah. I'll see it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. Now we enriched the story of the name. Okay, let's move to the other question, and it's more about how to do it. And the question is, what is the most cheapest way to make a brand popular?
In my experience, that's media outreach, because it's free. But in order to be in media and to be very well presented in it, you have to have something unique. And this is the hard part. You have to be different. And I recommend you to read the book, which is called Contagious, from John Berger. Is in Bulgarian translation. Contagious by John Berger. It's about virality and how to create brands that are viral. And that's my proposition for you, to have a communication of the brand that is shareable. And there are 5 steps in it. It's called the steps, actually, the whole formula, which is social currency, for example, for S, trigger, for the T, emotion, storytelling, and practical value. That's the 5 steps how to create a viral content. But this is the cheapest way, just to create something that is wow, has a wow effect. And this is the cheapest one. It's just free of charge, and everyone is talking about you. Yeah. So Contagious by John Berger. It's one of the best books I've ever read.
Hope that people are making notes. And we have one more question, which is how actually important is to have a strong brand?
It's really important because when you cut the budget, the marketing budget, for example, at some point, because there is inflation, for example, right now, there is a war. It's really you don't know what's happening right now, actually, and so you have to adapt. You have to be on the top of your mind of your customers. And when you have the prices higher because of inflation right now, only because you have loyal customers and you have a strong brand, your target customers will continue to be with you despite of the higher prices, for example. So top of mind and loyalty are the 2 main pillars in my experience to just build a strong brand and have all the efforts there. And the third one is if you have a strong brand and you have a message that you want to convey. For example, in our case, the values of freedom, empowerment, and to deserve your dreams. If you have a strong brand, you will reach your target audience, and you can have a change. You can create a change at some point if you have that critical mass. So that are my 3 pillars why you have to build your brand. And of course, it will lead you to sales at some point. This is the business part.
Yeah, definitely. So it's really important to have a strong brand. What we know is that it is hard to make it. So you need to be patient and to work hard on it. Maybe in some cases, even to try different approaches.
Of course, yeah. But the product market fit.
Yeah, you need to know your customers, to know how to positionize yourself and your product mainly. So it's a long-lasting process which is always updating and updating.
Yep, agree.
Thank you, Jasmina. That was the questions that I have. If you want to say something as a conclusion in the end of our meeting today.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope it was a useful and practical lecture. And I really want to see in the next 1, 2 to 5 years, just your project, your brand, and I hope you succeed.
Thank you, Jasmina. Thanks for everyone who are watching us live. So continue trading, enjoy the fair, and see you at 2 for another lecture, this time by Lido. See you soon.
See you.